Confidence isn't loud, it's rooted. Hey, everybody, it is Megan Holly, and this is the Magic Made podcast. How are you doing? What is lighting you up today? I'm just chilling here, me and my friend Leroy, as always, and we're going to tap into confidence, which is nothing new here, but this is kind of a little bit of a just different deep dive on it, if you will. And I know it's something that we're all kind of always working on. So I can't wait to kind of tap into this because, as always, a lot of times the episodes and the themes and things like that are brought to you by you. Things that you ask about or want to touch base on. Sometimes I'll throw a question box in, my Instagram stories, and you'll give me a little bit of feedback on what you need more of and, where you want to kind of move conversations to. And so when I say confidence isn't loud, it's rooted, it might sound a little confusing or counterintuitive, if you will, because so often we think of confidence as like loud and boisterous, and that you perceive whatever, or whoever you're seeing confident or confidence in as being kind of in your face, if that makes sense. But the thing is, confidence is actually kind of a rooted type of thing that we need to pull from. It's not a facade. It's not a mask. It's not it's not a costume. It really is something that's intrinsic, and we're going to tap into that. But before we do that, I wanted to make sure that was clear, because the thing is, in my world, it is very easy to see kind of the content that's put out, right? About joy and dancing and magic and all the things and fun and music and all of it, celebrating people and other businesses, and think that's loud. And it's there, and it's fun, and we love it. And yes, we do. But all of that comes from something other than a volume or a decibel of something, of content, of excitement. Okay, so what does that mean? You're like, okay, so what is the rooted side of confidence? Where does it come from? And what are we getting at here, Megan? I got you. Don't worry. I won't leave you hanging. So the thing is, and as usual, I've got my notes to keep me on track, because I will go on a tangent. We'll have a 3-hour podcast, and I don't know about you, but I don't know about all that jazz. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of redefine confidence in a softer way, because it's so easy for it to feel like unattainable, because it does feel big. I'm going to say that again. It feels unattainable because it feels big. And that sentiment doesn't go just for confidence. It goes for things that just feel impossible or out of our reach. But right now we're tying it into confidence. So it is one of those things where confidence, this is kind of my favorite thought that I really wanted to make sure I tap into. So let me just ground into it for you for a second. Confidence isn't who you are on your best day. Oh, I feel like that's a mic drop right there. Confidence is not who you are on your best day. So often we tie confidence to feeling our best, looking our best, doing our best, and then we're so confident. We're so there. We're so in the know, if you will. Like, we're there. We've made it. But that's not what confidence is. Yes, we will feel very confident when things are working in our favor, or we took some time to get ready or to put intention into ourselves. And you know that I'm all about that. In this community, I'm about that. We feel our most confident when we're intentional about looking in the mirror and getting, ourselves kind of situated for the day. And that might mean putting on a little bit of makeup. It might mean just brushing your hair. It might just mean accepting that, hey, I'm here, I'm alive. It doesn't have to be anything major. But what that does is sets the tone for a confident kind of layer to exist, if you will. However, the rooted side of that is that you are the magic behind that. You have to do something, and usually simple, to start that process off, right? You won't get to the master's degree or going on stage to speak or perform or sing or whatever, if we don't do these rooted things that help us to be that confident self. See where I'm going with that? So it's not just like, I'm confident because this happened, or I'm confident because I did this. It's like the little kind of rooted moments that make all of it come to life more. And so confidence is not loud, it is rooted. I will say that again, just to reiterate. And so self-trust is kind of, to me, where we have to go when we're talking about confidence. Because when we go to self-trust, we can go to a place inside of ourselves that nobody can hear. The only person that can hear our self-trust, our self-talk within that is ourselves. And yes, we might articulate it sometimes to people, or we might express it in certain ways. Only we can get quiet with it. And again, we're going back to that rootedness, right? The quiet kind of conversations, if you will. So when we're getting kind of inside the layer of self-trust, we can be and create stronger self-actualizations. We can create more conversation, not only with ourselves, but with others. We can create more, let's say, long-lasting shifts into that feeling of confidence. Not just the kind of spike, if you will, like you eat the cookie and your sugar spikes up and then it dwindles, right? Or you might even crash. Might crash down and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not feeling well. Same idea. So when we get into the self-trust conversation, we get kind of the rooted essence of what confidence is to us, for us, within us. It's more sustainable. It's like you ate that protein-rich meal that sustains you for longer. You don't just fly up, feel a certain way, and then come down. You have a longer time of feeling good. So that's a beautiful thing. That's what we want for confidence, don't we, though, right? Confidence is always going to ebb and flow, right? It's going to be like blood sugar that will kind of shift a little bit, right? We little tiny movements in it are okay. It's the big swings that are not, the highs and the lows. And so how do we have a comfortable level of sustainable confidence? Oh, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So one thing I want to tap into is the idea of kind of what I thought confidence used to be. Like my perception of confidence, and let me know, please do tell me if yours is similar, if you have other thoughts on what you perceived confidence to be at one time, or maybe even still right this moment. Nothing's off the table. Everything's okay and acceptable. So to me, confidence used to be like, oh, that person, they have it all together. They've got the thing, the that, the this, the car, the house, the tidiness. They have it all together. That's confidence. I'm here to tell you that I have existed in that thing, right? Like, oh, I tidy up. I like the things that I've put around me in my space. I feel good, all the things, but I don't always feel confident. So what does that mean? What's wrong? What's not working? Where's the dial? How do I change it? How did they get there? What is it, right? And so it's not any one thing is what I'm getting at, right? It's not the thing that we've achieved. It's not the things we put around us. They can help us feel good and supported. Don't get me wrong. I am all about our space and the things around us, creating healthy thoughts in our heads and feeling good in our routines and all of that. Yes. But that's not what confidence is. It's making the choices to create that for yourself. See what I'm getting at? So when we create and make choices to do the things that we perceive as confident or that can help us feel more confident, that's actually where the unearthing is. It's not the actual getting there. It's not really even the sustainability of it. It's just like, what is it? Because it will fluctuate. So is it sustainable? Yes, but also it moves. It's a moving target. So how can you tap into that for yourself? How can you look around and think, what is or was my perception of confidence, and how is it not supporting me? Because I think it's this. And honestly, that's unattainable, or it's actually not even that interesting to me. That doesn't feel good in my body, in my mind, in my vision for what I want to look, feel, or do in my most confident self. So take a moment to think about what confidence or your perception of it is, and then dissect that. Dissect a little bit of like, what are the things that actually make that up? Because those might be your answers. Those might be the things that you tap into more, not the end kind of game of them. I really hope that's making sense, but getting really clear on that. So for me, having space around me that feels good and looks pretty and colorful and just vibes with me is confidence. A portion of it. It's like the light bright. It's a one peg in the light bright of confidence. But it's not the actual thing or the stuff or any of that. It's what comes with that. The routine of taking time to clean up my kitchen, the love of going to find something really weird and unique at the thrift store and putting it in my space. But what is that actually more than a thing or a piece of essentially garbage, like, right? Like nothing. It doesn't really matter. What it actually is intention. It's maybe quiet time for myself, because when I go thrifting, sometimes it's just a quiet moment for myself to be with myself, literally. That's what confidence does. It's sneaky. But if we're not clocking it, at least a little bit from time to time, we're going to lose it, and we're not going to even realize how we can make more of it. Yeah. So it's not the things, it's not the space. So I'm using this example. It's the things that I do within my life, within my routine, my habits, my rituals that make me feel good in my own skin, confident in my choices, and then look around and see what I've kind of made in my world, right? And that I can gift somebody, oh, I found this really cool thing, or talk about my experience with it. So maybe you can experience something similar, which I'm doing right here, literally live as I'm saying this. That's confidence, right? It's the quiet kind of underbelly of what we perceive as confident. When do I feel and how do I feel to like tap into like my most confident self now, knowing that it's kind of the things that are not always showing up on the monitor? How do I then know how to tap into my most confident self? How do you extrapolate that to morph it into what you need to feel your most confident self? I don't know if I have the exact, formula for that at the moment. But what I do know to be true is that when you, like we always say, like when people say, oh, I wish I could bottle up that like laughter, or I wish I could bottle up that feeling. What would that bottle look and be called? What would it sound like? What would it look like? What would it embody? To me, it is laughter. Actually, the more confident I'm feeling, especially like in a situation with people or, in a new environment, maybe, if I'm laughing hard, I'm feeling pretty good in my own skin. I'm feeling pretty confident. So if I bottled up laughter as one of my things that like is a confidence kind of indicator, how do I make that happen more in my life? Where do I put myself? Who do I put myself around? You know what I mean? Who do I maybe put a little bit of a distance or a boundary on? So when you think of your lineup of bottles that you would want to hydrate your confidence, I just thought of that right now. You're hydrating your confidence with these bottles. What do each bottle need to have in it? What do they need to have in it? And then how does just your everyday actions support them? That's confidence right there. That is confidence. Because my past self, just let's use that as an example. The person who was very, very messy, thank you to my focus and just like attention span issues, always late, would be hiding because I was too shy and too nervous. So that laughter, although always a joyful person, might have been held back. I spent a lot of time in certain seasons just wearing and putting things on my body that didn't feel good, that I knew weren't really making me feel that great, right? Those are my bottles. Those are my bottles. Like laughter, how I treat my body, what I put on it, what I put in it, more importantly. That's a bottle. How I use my time, what feels good to put my time into, that's a bottle. So now we've identified them. And what are my daily choices to put them into action? So let's use the dress and the comfort of, body image and just self. Not even really, it's not about what we look like, it's about how we feel. Let's use that as an example because I think it's very just universal for most people. Am I going to make a choice to honor my body by putting things on that feel good, no matter what my brain's telling me, right? If my body or if my brain is telling me, oh, well, only people that look like this can wear that. And then I don't even try to explore maybe a color or a style or a something of things that like are pulling me in because of that story, then I might not ever really get that confidence bottle flowing and filling up because I'm not allowing that. But today, what I do is make choices on things that I love. I put on a little bit of sparkle. I like to layer. That feels good on my body. I like things that are soft. I like things that are kind of funky and weird and quirky and maybe other people wouldn't put together. And there are times when I might put something that I really am drawn to and like on, and the conversation in my head is like, "Oh no, what are you doing? Who's going to tell you that's crazy looking?" Or, whatever the story is. But then I realize the real story of my confidence is that, no, I really love this. I feel great in it. So I've made the choice to continue doing that. And then that's filling up my confidence bottle, right? And so what is it for you? What are your things? Pick maybe 3 things to make and bottle up for yourself and allow them to be the things that kind of lead your days. Wake up and pick the things out that feel good and just help you sing from an energetic standpoint. Find more ways to laugh. These sentiments are so very simple in so many ways, but so very complex in many more facets because we have to make the choice to continue doing them. And that's the thing, I think, with feeling confident is that there's no kind of scale. Like, okay, once you're hit this, level of confidence, there's no going back because that's not true, But what we can do is know and check in with these, these bottles, with these formulas that we create for ourselves. And for me, I'm in a season where I'm like hell bent on those being the top of my mind, because if I am having a hard day, when I don't want to show up, when I am playing small, I know where I can go. Like I have somewhere to tap into. I have, if nothing else, a visual, right? To go, how am I not serving myself right now? I only then have myself to quote unquote blame for that instead of others, which we do often with like things in life, confidence, not feeling like we got somewhere or are doing something. Well, if I had more time in the day, well, if this person would just, do that differently, if I could, if I would, if da, 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 da. We go down all these little rabbit holes. But now if we have our bottles and our formulas, we know where to go back to when those stories start popping up and trying to take kind of center stage, if you will. Like they're pulling up hard. and just gunning for center stage, you know? And it's not because they're hungry for, doing the best and having the most wonderful ensemble of the show. They're there because they're like, oh, here I go. I'm here. I'm gonna do this. But what does it do to let the negativity take forth in our minds and disrupt, if you will, the things we know to be true for ourselves? Those are other people's thoughts, stories, the perceptions that we have of other people. I've been there. I'll raise my hand loud and proud to say that I've been there thinking, well, that person's got it because X, Y, and Z. And usually it's not even their truth. It's what I think of them, their existence, their choice, their life, whatever it is. Who am I to let that derail me? We will never, ever, ever feel our most confident when we're allowing other people in the driver's seat or on the center stage of our Broadway musical. Think of your life as your own show. If you're not a musical person, how are we even friends? No, I'm just kidding. I know they're not for everybody, but your movie, your whatever your big thing is, your sports, your Super Bowl. Why are we letting other people dictate that, or perceptions of them most of the time, not even their actual existence, unless they are saying things that are not supportive or helpful? Why are we letting them take over those big days, those big moments for ourselves? Because our big day is every day. Every day is one that is made to look and feel how you make it. And there are shitty seasons. There are hard things that we were all toe through. But when we go back to our formulas, our bottles, and our underlying ways to build our confidence, even on the worst of days, we at least have a shred of some light coming through. Just a little bit of something. And I firmly believe that the people out there that get through the hardest stuff in life, like, I firmly believe they've got they might not label it like this. They may not articulate it. They may not even know they're doing it, but they are the people who just are relentless. They are relentless on certain things being true or doing certain things, Like, we all know the 85-year-old lady who is not doing really well, and they just went through something really hard, but she's like, by gosh, I always have my bright red lipstick on. Those are the people that make it through the hard shit in life. Are the ones that have something, some non-negotiable to make themselves feel good. If you take nothing away from this episode and you're still here with me as we talk through this, take nothing away from this other than have one freaking thing that you're like, I am so hell-bent on this being a part of my day, my life, my existence, because I know it makes me happy, feel better, and step into the world differently. Keep that so close to your heart and do it every single day as best possible. Even if it has to look a little different or feel a little bit different, do it. That's why I always have crazy jewelry on. It is my one little thing. Yes, it's a quote unquote material thing, but it's not about that. It's about the intention of putting it on and knowing it's something that I love. It's about the conversations that sometimes they start. This big old one that I have on right now starts a lot of conversations. That creates confidence in my life. That hopefully creates confidence in other people's lives because the conversation we had was uplifting or fun or silly or helpful. It's a non-negotiable for me to do things like that, to never go more than 2 days without doing something to get myself ready to dance every day. These are non-negotiables. Are they extras in life? Sure. Absolutely. 100%. On days when I feel awful, when I'm sick, when I'm whatever, do I want to do any of it? No. And are there times when maybe I don't do it to the full capacity? Or if I'm really not well, I'm not putting on, a 3-pound ring, to just sit and be unwell. But maybe I'll put on one that just really sparks my joy that day. Or maybe I'll still put on music and I'll move a little bit. It might not be a full-blown body movement and dancing around the kitchen, but I might just move my body a little bit. These are non-negotiables that have changed the way I operate. And this is what I think people who not only are confident, but are warriors in some way, shape, or form in their life. This is, I think, if we did a case study, I'm no scientist or fancy researcher, but if we did a study, and maybe there is something out there about having something like this in our lives, I would beg to think that there's something to it, that there is something about that, just like stand up for something that is so intrinsically good to you that you feel better and more unstoppable, even if you don't feel it. Right. It's not, you're not registering it. This is under the radar, but it's like doing something for your spirit. It's doing something for your energy. It's doing something for your mental health. All of those are important. They all affect our physical health too. So boom, right there, we got something beautiful happening. So all that to say as we wrap this episode is, what are going to be your bottles of non-negotiables, and what are you going to do to tap in to see, more than anything, knowing what they are is one thing, knowing what creates them in everyday life in different ways, in different shapes, in different forms. That's the magic right there. That's the magic of the Magic Made podcast. When we find a little something in other things that we know can support us. So what is it for you? I would love to hear what bottles you will be filling up and hydrating with. Okay. Speaking of, I need a little sip over here. So hydration is key. My little cup here, my peacock is my spirit animal. And because I just think they're just so beautiful. And on the inside, it says stunner, which I love because y'all are stunners out there, in your own way, shape, or form. And I love that for you. And, I think for me, the last kind of little moment for the episode here that it's important to come out of my heart is stop thinking and feeling like other people are better than, more beautiful, more, gifted, all the things in you. You are a stunner. You are absolutely, I'm getting so passionate, I'm like whipping my phone and just you are a stunner and you deserve to feel that way. And so our confidence hydration here that we are going to tap into is yours to be made. It is an elixir. It is a cocktail of your own making. And so have fun with it. Think outside the box, but also at the same time, keep it just intrinsically, simplistically you. At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be rocket science. It doesn't have to be anything major to make it work. Make the formula work in your favor. I can't wait to hear what is in your hydration bottle. Maybe I'll need to add one of yours into mine. And go into your week, go into your days here, just sipping on exactly what it is you need. Don't allow other things to, go awry and keep you from your hydration. Not only your confidence hydration, but actually get some water in there too, my friends. It's so good. And we feel our most confident self when our body is working at its best. So go get your hydration. If nothing else, go in right now you don't even have to stop listening. Just finish up this episode, go walk over to your water bottle, to the water cooler, to your sink, wherever it is, and hydrate those cells, and then go hydrate your confidence. And I cannot wait to see what it does for you, my friends. I will see you next time. Have a beautiful one.